When I was in the chat room about 15 minutes ago, we had people. Now we have half the amount of people in the chat room, and I didn't even say anything. So let's see what happens when I say something. Good morning, everybody. Just hoping that we have a perfect day today in terms of the quality. How's the sound? Plenty of good seats still available, as Greg is not here today. So good morning to Ed and Robert C. and Star Dog and Unholy Toledo. And away we go. Here's a trivia question for you. Genius of the Day question for you. Good morning to Taco. What manager in Major League Baseball has been ejected from the most Major League Baseball games in the history of the Major Leagues? What manager has been ejected from the most Major League Baseball games in Major League Baseball history? Anybody want to take a shot at that? Now, we all know that Mike Trout's been placed on the 10-day injured list with a right calf strain, estimated return to play 6 to 8 weeks. Now, one of the things that Trout said, as we say good morning to everybody who is filtering in. Good morning to Daniel Ferrara. Good morning to Star Dog. Good morning to Eddie Heckman. And here we go. Trout says one of the things is that teams are making more cross-country flights and also playing in cold weather in the early going. Andrea's up. She says it's LaRussa. Unholy Toledo's got it. You can't beat Unholy Toledo. It's Bobby Cox. Okay? Has been thrown out more than anybody else. Nice going there, kid. So, yeah, cross-country flights, playing in cold weather. The most time Mike Trout has ever missed, and down she comes. There, I didn't even know you were awake. And you're answering trivia, Genius of the Day questions. The most time Mike Trout has ever missed in a season with an injury, 39 games, when he underwent surgery to repair a torn thumb ligament. And the Angels say 6 to 8 weeks. Now, here's the deal. The Angels, with Mike Trout in their history, 34 games over 500, 661 wins, and 627 losses. That's a .513 percentage. Without him, they're 25 games under. 78 wins, 103 losses. So let's see what happens there. Lots of questions this afternoon, yesterday afternoon, tomorrow afternoon. Joey Adele and Brandon Marsh, everybody keeps asking me when they're going up. They may be options in center field, but both were in the lineup yesterday in AAA, and neither one is starting in center field. So what does that tell you? Perhaps they're not going to be in center field. A no-hitter last night, and I must say, Andy and I take a lot of calls on Sunday, and one of the pieces of advice that we gave was not to take Turnbull from Detroit. And I think that was more me than her, but it was a bad idea. He pitched a no-hitter last night. Most no-hitters in the season were 8, all right? So, but since 1907, the Mariners are the second team in the history of the majors to get no-hit at home twice in a 2-week span. They're the 6th team to be no-hit twice at home in a season. The Mets, the Padres, the Tigers, the Reds, and Spencer Turnbull, 5th no-hitter of the year. Look, in 2019, he had the most losses in baseball. Tonight he's got a no-hitter. First pitcher since Scott Erickson to throw a no-hitter within 2 seasons of leading Major League Baseball in losses. So there you go. Good morning to the great Mal Pal who shows up. Put a picture of Mal Pal in the chat room if anybody's interested. All right? If Turnbull's thrown a no-hitter, we know Major League Baseball's gone too far with the no-hitters. Good morning to White Sox Al. Good morning to guest Olinda. And away we go. So here's the other thing. Okay? Amidst the Blake Snell making history with a no-hitter, I'm sorry, Spencer Turnbull making history, Blake Snell made history as well. He completed 6 innings in a game for the first time since late July 2019. Another sparkling, unbelievable injury. Danny Duffy, who was off to a great season, placed on the 10-day injured list. And this is ridiculous. Tony La Russa upset that Yerman Mercedes hit a home run on a 3-0 count. Now, here's something interesting. We looked it up. In the last 20 years, Major League Baseball hitters have seen 557 pitches in 3-0 counts with their teams up 10 or more runs. Again, they have seen 557 pitches in 3-ball, no-strike counts with their teams up by 10 or more runs. And Mercedes was the first player to swing.
Wow.
How about that? With their team up by 10 or more runs, 3-0 count. And of course, La Russa said there's going to be a price to pay. Bull Dick, you played a freaking game. All right, Kevin Pillar, 13th Met player to go on the injured list. Only the Padres have more with 16, but some of those injuries were COVID-related. I mean, that's still legitimate injury, but it definitely inflates their numbers. Gleyber Torres, by the way, has been cleared. He could be activated today. The Giants, and we always talk about, I was on with Fensterman and Ronis the other night, will the Giants be sellers or buyers? They've got the best record in the National League. They've got 3 key starters, Gausman, DeSclafani, and Wood, each making a combined almost $28 million, all on one-year contracts. So to me, I think the Giants are going to fade a little bit, and then they will be really in the market to make some trades, okay? Eddie Heckman found out yesterday that an owner in his fantasy baseball league has passed away. Oh, my. That's terrible. And I've always said, and now it comes to light again, you should always make provisions. I don't care what your league is. It's very uncomfortable now to say, what do we do with his team? Do we divide his team up? Do we somebody take it over? Do we not count the team? Whatever you say, it's nobody wants to talk about it in those terms. So make the ruling ahead of time. It makes a big difference, okay?
My team, you.
Andrea wants to know who's going to take her team. No, Malpal, okay? So the Twins, with the worst record in baseball, on track to be sellers. They have given up the most runs in the American League this month. Cruz, Simmons, Pineda, Happ, all have expiring contracts. And, of course, for the Cubs, Bryant, Rizzo, or Baez, it's going to be heavily influenced by how they play this month. They're 9-5 in May with a plus 16 run differential. So we'll see what happens. And it's interesting. 3 of the 4 longest streaks of games for reaching base belong to players on the injured list. Cody Bellinger, Jeff McNeil, J.D. Davis, and the 4th member is Anthony Rizzo. And after he got belted around, good morning to Zelmo, he could be going on the injured list as well. Okay, no longer is a no-hitter. Look, I'll say it again. A no-hitter is a no-hitter is a no-hitter. I kind of disagree with that. Good morning, Zelmo. The Blue Jays are on the verge of 12-5 since the move was made to put Vladimir Guerrero Jr. batting third and Teoscar Hernandez, and many of us thought Teoscar Hernandez wouldn't get a chance to play, okay? The only teams with more wins over that span are the Chicago White Sox. Nolan Arenado has homered down 4 straight games, tied for the second longest home run streak of his career. He homered in 6 straight games back in 2015. We didn't think that Arenado was going to be the big home run hitter, right? And Jared Kelenic, high ceiling prospects the Mets gave away for Robinson Cano, Edwin Diaz. But don't forget, there's another prospect that the Mets gave away when they traded Marcus Stroman. Simeon Woods Richardson is kind of developing. He's quickly developing in the Toronto organization. So once again, the Mets strike again. Live look at the home run leaderboard. Ohtani's got 14. The Giants struck out 17 times today, but they won the game. That's the most strikeouts at the plate by the Giants in a 9-inning win since 1901. But Brandon Crawford keeps moving around. He's the first position player at shortstop with 10 or more home runs through 36 games. How about that? Zach Wheeler, second game this season, 10 or more strikeouts. Only 3 different Philly pitchers have had more than 10 strikeouts, no walks, in a single game in the season. Kurt Schilling had 3, and Steve Carlton had 3. Cliff Lee had 4. And here we go. the most talked about player in the history. Okay, yeah, back in. That's right. Luis Castillo, 8 strikeouts through 3 innings. Okay. Last pitcher to go 8 strikeouts through 3 innings was Anthony DeSclafani. But we'll talk about Castillo in just a bit. And once again, a good morning to you all. Thank you for joining us in the chat room. Chat room getting a little light, people getting, I hope the bad connections haven't turned people away. And the Lindor trade, and we talk about how Cleveland trades Lindor, it's not working out. And like I said, Jimenez sent down with a 179 batting average. Ahmad Rosario has started 4 or 5 games at shortstop. He's only hitting 212. So, interesting. Khalil Lee, somebody who, I've touted as a stolen base threat, but here's the problem. He just keeps his 5 plate appearances, and I think he struck out all 5, and he had 1 game in the minor leagues where he actually struck out 8 times. Okay? MVP odds from FanDuel. Ohtani, plus 850. Okay? So, Ohtani is leading. Has the lowest odds of winning the World Series, and most home runs on a single day of the week in the season. Jeff Bagwell on Wednesdays has hit 19. Okay, that's it. There you go. All right, let's get to the games. Those were the Nuggets. DK Lush has joined us. Good morning to the great DK Lush as we clue it up. One night after getting hit in the face, Kevin Pillar popped out of the dugout. No way. Look, Villar and Jonathan Villar. You got Kevin Pillar. You got Jonathan Villar. Holy mackerel! Villar and Nito homered for the Mets, 4-3 win over the Braves. And I'll tell you what, everybody is crazy, man. Okay, Pillar carried the New York lineup cart to home plate. Holy mackerel! Austin Riley, Freddie Freeman homered for Atlanta. Ozuna tied the game at 3 with a 2-out broken bat single. Nito had 3 hits on Monday. And Edwin Diaz, a 1-2-3 ninth for his 7th save. The 3-time defending NL champion Braves have now lost 3 in a row. They can't build momentum. They've dropped to 19-23. The Atlanta Braves have not been, this is crazy, the Atlanta Braves have not been at 500, above 500 all season. That I did not realize, okay? So, yep, that's right. Khalil struck out all 4. He did make a diving catch, okay? Encouraging news on Taijuan Walker. A clean bill of health came out of the game Monday in the win. But, so we'll see what happens. They have to study a video to determine what's causing the problem in his delivery, and we'll see how that goes. The Phillies and the Marlins. Ronald Torres, former Yankee, jumped on the first pitch. He was out for a month. Tie-breaking pinch hit 2-run double. Phillies rallied to beat Miami 8-3. He had no symptoms, but he spent 11 days in a hotel room before he tested negative. So he stayed sharp. And, of course, Rhys Hoskins had a sharp single with 1 out. Alec Boehm followed with an RBI double. And Phillies starter Zach Wheeler struck out 10. He allowed 1 unearned run, 5 hits. He reached double digits in strikeouts for the 10th time in his career. Second time. Archie Bradley is back. He fanned only 1 batter he faced, earned the win in his first appearance, but he did not come in as a closer. Okay, so fans were jumping on the field. Louis Brinson placed on the injured list. No big deal. Didi Gregorius placed on the 10-day injured list. And Scott Kingery has a concussion, so he's out for 7 days. Trevor Rogers goes against Zach Eflin tonight. Good morning to Tito Luna and Jeter Luna, who have entered the chat room. Chris Gallo is here. Now we're rocking. Good morning, everybody. Great to see you all in the chat room. Thinking of adding another segment. You know, we have the Nuggets, then we have the highlights, and I think we're going to add the box score segment. We'll see if we have enough time. and go through the box scores and the lineups and the batting orders, see if there's anything significant that jumps off the page. The Nationals and the Cubs, David Bote and Ian Happ, they both homered. Ian Happ doing great, 1 for 3 with a solo home run. 4th home run of the year in the 8th inning. He's been struggling. He's got a 192 batting average. He's missed more than 10 days. He had that left rib contusion. Andrea, no confusion about a contusion anymore. So Wilson Contreras has taken over as the team's leadoff hitter, but we'll see what happens. And maybe if he keeps hitting home runs, he's better off in an RBI spot. Anthony Rizzo left the game. Tightness in his lower back. Holy mackerel. David Bote, 2 for 4 with a 2-run homer. I'm so proud that I picked him out in the Arizona Fall League. Okay? But still, he's only batting 193. Okay? So he just fills in at decent positions. Contreras had 2 hits, 2-run single. Bryant singled twice, drove in a run. Okay? And Starling Castro, 1 for 5. And a solo home run. Okay? Unfortunately, Castro's batting 267 with 17 RBIs, and nobody even bothers with him, right, Malpal? Keegan Thompson, 1 in the 3rd innings after Zach Davis pitched in the 7th, also got the hit. And Craig Kimbrell worked the 9th, 8th save and 10 chances as the Cubs have won now 4 out of 5. Okay, 4 out of 5. Zach Davies gave up 3 runs and 7 hits. After Starling Castro homered, he came out of the game. But Davies allowed 3 runs across 5 innings. Didn't factor into the decision. Gave up 7 hits and a walk. So-so performance. Didn't miss a ton of bats. All right? And that's been the theme. He doesn't miss a lot of bats. He only has 23 strikeouts in 40 innings. So they're not going to grab the attention of... I have him in 2 leagues. But he's got a 2.70 ERA, 8 strikeouts per 9. So we'll see. And Patrick Corbin went 5 innings, 3 runs, 8 hits. Okay? After the birth of his child, he rejoined the team. Did not factor into the decision. And the Nationals simply could not come up big. They went 2 for 12 with runners in scoring position, and they left 11 runners on base. And, of course, I mentioned Rizzo. He slipped leaving the batter's box when he grounded out to end that 2-run 3rd inning. He is day-to-day. He remained in the game, but he couldn't handle Kyle Schwarber grounder leading off the inning, resulting in an error, and then he was placed with Bryant moving from right field to first base. Okay? So we'll see what happens with Anthony Rizzo. Steven Strasburg threw 34 pitches, Andrea. So we'll see how he feels today, deciding on his next step. This is going to be a whole year-long thing, okay? Find Good Morning Guest Sheila. Who's Guest Sheila? Please sign in. Let us know who you hear. Tito Luna, great to see you in the chat room, Tito Luna. Fantastic. Max Scherzer goes against Jake Arrieta, okay, today. Pittsburgh and St. Louis, so you mentioned Arenado, hit a 2-run homer, his 4th in 4 games. Tommy Edman, who's been slumping of late, added 3 singles, drove in 2 runs. Padres won their 4th consecutive game against Pittsburgh. Edman went 3 for 5 Tuesday. He was only hitting 4 for 32 in his last 7 games, but he busted out. On the year, he's batting .274. If you have a chance to make a trade offer for Tommy Edman, now's the time to do it, okay? Arenado hit his first home run, that we talked about, so he went 2 for 3, kick-started the Cardinals' offense, hit the home run off J.T. Brubaker, okay, 10 homers on the year, batting .307. Pretty much what he did with the Rockies, no big deal. He's ripping the ball, ripping it, okay? John Gant threw 5 1/3 to earn the win. He picked up the win, allowing 2 runs, 5 hits, struck out 3. He only threw 81 pitches, 53 for strikes, but he fell a little short of a quality start. Alex Reyes pitched inning number 9 to record 12 saves and 12 chances. He walked 1. He continues to roll. He has yet to blow a save. He has only been scored on once in 20 appearances with an 0.41 ERA, 28 strikeouts, 20 walks, 22 innings. Brubacher is not a bad pitcher. He took the loss, 5 runs, 8 hits, 3 walks, 5 2/3. All the damage came in the first 3 innings. Brubacher's not bad. And Pittsburgh's leadoff hitter, Adam Frazier, now has 52 hits, and he leads the National League in hits right now. Adam Frazier. Who would have thunk it? I mean, he had a good spring, no question about it. Didn't have as good a spring as Newman. Newman, remember, had the highest batting average in the history of spring training. Frazier, fell a little short of his teammate, but Frazier really picking it up. That's for sure. And Daniel Ponce de Leon was activated from the 10-day injured list. And here's some sad news. Renee Stennett, if you've been following baseball, he was a pretty good second baseman for Pittsburgh. Played in the 70s, a member of the Pirates World Series winning teams. He batted around 280. Rennie Stennett, very nice baseball player, passed away the other day, so we send our regards to Renee Stennett. And John Garofalo has entered the chat room. Good morning there, Super John. Great to see John. Now I'm pumped. There you go. Jacob Stallings is out, but expected back soon. Chad Kuehl is expected to start rehab. Tyler O'Neill has been placed on the 10-day injured list. There's no more freaking room on the injured list. Second time this season. He was also sidelined back in April. Remember? Mikolos. Carlos Martinez might be back to the rotation. What's going on? This keeps happening. There may be room for me and John to play baseball this year. Okay? I could still fly. I could still run. I could fly if I go to the airport, but I could still run. That's for sure, man. Unbelievable. Trevor Cahill's going to start Wednesday. Flaherty is going to go against him. Cincinnati and San Francisco, DeSclafani gave up 1 run over 7 good innings. He got Alex Dickerson hit a 3-run homer. The Giants beat the Red. Dickerson 3 for 4. He's 30 years old. He hit that home run off of Louis Castillo. He has only a .230 batting average, okay? But he's got 16 RBIs, 10 runs scored. And DeSclafani, I'm telling you, all the Giant pitchers, they got the 3 big pitchers. They all are on the last. They all signed 1-year contracts. So let's see what the Giants are going to do. Are they going to be buyers or sellers? Right, Chris Gallo? Buyers or sellers? DeSclafani got the wins, gave up 1 run, 6 hits, gave up a leadoff homer to Jesse Winker, and then he settled down. He has been very impressive. He goes on the free agent market. He's going to get a bundle. And Jake McGee, we thought he was done. He didn't allow a base runner, scoreless inning. So quickly it's going to be McGee and the other guy. Forget his name. Up and down. Okay, but he got the save. Jake McGee gets... And Brandon Crawford continues to roll. Who has him on their fantasy team? Nobody. And he's hit his 10th homer. 2 for 4 with a solo home run. Crawford, 13 for 40. 6 homers, 13 RBIs, 12 runs through 13 games. He is one of... I do. Andrea says I do. That means Andrea is now married to the chat room. Anybody who says I do back is now married to Andrea. She says I do. Isn't that the word you're supposed to say? Castillo struck out 11 through 5 innings, gave up 3 runs, all in the homer hit by Dickerson. He's 1-6, 11 strikeouts, charged with the loss, and he's the most talked about player, and considered to be one of the elite pitchers in baseball, but he hasn't really done it. He's been one of the worst pitchers, maybe the worst. Jesse Winker led off the game with a home run for the Reds. Couldn't get a number past second, until Nick Castellanos homered in the Nick Castellanos. What a great year he's having. The Giants have been in first place in the National League West for 22 straight days. Are you kidding me? That's with the Dodgers. That's with the San Diego Padres. Holy mackerel. And bad news for Andrea. Wilmer Flores has left the game in the second inning. Brandon Bilt missed his third straight game. Tightness in his left side. Flores had tightness in his hammy. Between the hammies and unbelievable. Mike Moustakas held out for the fourth game. Got a heel contusion. Senzel out with a sword. This is ridiculous. Votto is sidelined. It's incredible. Wade Miley, who threw a no-hitter on my birthday and then lasted 3 innings in his following start, goes today against Kevin Gausman. The Diamondbacks and the Dodgers. Gavin Lux hit his first career grand slam. Julio, down by the schoolyard Urias, pitched 3-hit ball in the Z. Garofalo shows up, and I'm going freaking wild. And now I can't control myself. That's what happens when Johnny Boy enters the chat room. Well, I speak to him on the phone, but, he lives out in the Portland. Is Portland still around, by the way? Lux hit his first career grand slam. Mookie Betts hit a leadoff homer. The beleaguered Chris Taylor added a tie-breaking 2-run shot. Okay? So, all this off of Kevin Ginkel. I'm not saying anything, Andy. Betts 2 for 4 with a solo home run. Off Corbin Martin. And for those of you who are jumping all over Corbin Martin, come on. Between his injuries, he is going to be very heavily monitored. Don't expect him to get, any innings. He's not going to help your team this year. That's for sure. Okay? Betts is batting .259, but is 4 for 12 with 3 runs scored in his past 3 games. And, look, Lux was a surefire prospect who's taken his sweet petunia time. But he's gotten it together. Lux is 18 for 52. So that's batting about .350 if you're scoring at home. So it looks like Gavin Lux. So for those of you who it's not too late, make an offer to try to get Gavin Lux. He had a hole in his pants. I don't know what's going on. Okay? Lux went 2 for 4, broke the game open. Chris Taylor 2 for 4, 2-run homer. He hadn't started for the Dodgers since Saturday. He was nursing a wrist injury, but he looked pretty good. Julio Urias retired 13 straight batters from the second inning till the 7th. Here in the win over Arizona, 6 1/3. Gave up a second inning run, but he cruised. Nick Ahmad had an RBI double. So once again, Corbin Martin, 4 hits, 4 walks, 3 runs. His first major league start, he had the Tommy John. He was a big man in that trade with Zach Greinke, but I'm going to tell you, they are not going to push him this year, so don't expect to win your league with Corbin Martin. Okay? Don't expect that. Albert Pujols, remember him? 0 for 3, number 55. In the second game with the Dodgers, but he drove in his second run. He was hit by the pitch in this with the bases loaded. He'll do it any way he can. Yoshi Tsugo, 0 for 2 with 2 walks. Luke Weaver went on to 10, make it 11 days. He's so bad, put him on the 11-day injured list. Strained right shoulder. Okay? He'll be assessed in a few weeks. Madison Bumgarner should be able to make his next start. Remember, he came out of the game after 4 innings on Monday. Okay? And Garrett Clevenger, I like this kid. I don't know why. Went on the injured list. Forearm inflammation. Clayton Kershaw goes up against the Diamondbacks, who have not announced their starter. And it looks like Trevor Bauer's start's going to be moved to Friday against the Giants. So for those of you counting on Trevor Bauer, it may be moved to Friday. Tito Luna, who left the chat room for a minute, made me very sad, has returned. I'm watching you, Tito. Not letting you leave. Jorge Mateo scored from third base. It was a Daniel Bard wild pitch in the bottom of the 10th. The Padres have a 5-game winning streak. And when Tatis comes back, they're going to start losing. They've won 8 out of 9, 26 victories, ties the Giants for the most in the majors, and there you go. Sometimes, you lose a player and the other players on the team says, let's pick up the pace. Blake Snell, who has not pitched 6 innings in any start, turned in his best performance, struck out 11, 1 run, 5 hits, 6 innings. Unbelievable. And Austin Gomber, 6 innings against San Diego on Tuesday, did not factor into the season. Second for Austin Gomber, and people were teasing that they got Gombered. It was his second straight strong outing. He has allowed only 1 earned run in 11 innings. Okay, so we'll see what happens there. So C.J. Cron activated from the injured list, and they're going to market him. You'll see. There's no use for C.J. Cron in Colorado. Fuentes is going to get everyday playing time. Pick up Josh Fuentes whenever you can. Cron, he was out for 12 days. He's batting .309. He's got 5 homers, 15 RBIs. Not bad, but they got to trade him. Cronenworth, 3 for 4 with 2 doubles. 9th and 10th doubles of the year. Leads the team in doubles. He's 27. He's got a hot bat. 1 hit in all but 2 of the 16 games, hitting .377. He's just a good complimentary player and a tremendous DFS player. Tremendous. I don't know what his price tags are, but tremendous. Okay, there you go. Tito Luna, lost sound, refresh, got it back. Mark Melanson stranded the bases loaded in the top of the 9th by getting Nunes to ground out weakly to first base, and Brandon Rogers on his way back from a strained hammy. Now, here's a guy who said he was going to steal 20 bases. I jumped on that. Okay, what a freaking idiot, okay? What's that? Insubordination? I see. So this adds something to it now. When La Russa got pissed off because Mercedes had the take sign and he swung. That's totally different. Totally different. If it was just implied without the official take sign, then it's a stupid comment. But you gotta, if La Russa's out there, he's making himself look stupid. So you gotta tell the media that he had the official take sign. Anytime that you disregard the official sign, something should be said. Musgrove will start for San Diego against Chichi Gonzalez. Over in the American League, DJ LeMahieu finally had that RBI game, 3 RBIs, tie-breaking 2-run double. Went the opposite way. He's had a good year, but he's not producing like he did last year. Roughneck on Door, 2 for 5 against his former teammates. Don't forget he played 7 years in Texas. Nick Solak, now the second baseman. He had a homer after an RBI single. Solak's 19. He went 19 games without a homer. He's only hitting .213. Okay? During this power drought. But on the season, he's hitting about .265, .270. Jameson Taillon did not factor into the decision. Gave up 4. He's been a disappointment. He's now pitched past 5 innings only 1 time in 8 starts. So Taillon has not done what a lot of fantasy players hoped, and that would be as good as Doug Boyle. Don't forget, to be as good as Doug Boyle, you really have to be a superstar. Good morning, Dougie. Aroldis Chapman struck out 6 in the 9th inning. He struck out the 6th. Whoa! He struck out the 6th in his 9th inning, 10th save. All right, 6 batters he struck out. Struck out 3 in the scoreless 9th. 16 appearances, all unbelievable. 6th time in 16 appearances that he's gotten all his outs via the strikeout, okay? So he's yet to give up an earned run or blow a save. MVP for the Yankees. It ain't Chapman. It's not Judge. It's not Torres. It's not Garrett Cole. It's Aroldis Chapman. Fulton-Newich, 5 hits. He can't even. Took the loss. Not a fantasy player. Sorry. Nice guy. Adolis Garcia had a 2-run single, putting Texas up. He's got 30 RBIs in 34 games. Does not have 30 RBI. He's got 30 RBIs. And Lamont, you're talking about RBI or this and that. I listened to your last roundtable, and all you said was RBIs. Everything was RBI. You never used the RBI thing once. Everything you said was RBI. RBI. Garcia, 30 RBIs, ranking him tied for 9th. He knocks in an RBI he knocks in a run every 4 at-bats. Unbelievable. Gary Sanchez, all right, left the game because of cramping in his left hammy. Gleyber Torres could be back, as we said. Zach Britton's left elbow checked out well, so he felt a little soreness. We'll see. And Giancarlo Stanton's got a left quad, but it was an encouraging day. That's what it's all about. It's all about encouraging, right? Corey Kluber takes the mound at the Rangers' new retractable roof stadium for the second time. It'll be Corey Kluber going against Hyun Jung Yang, makes his 5th MLB appearance. Mike Zunino, he's becoming very fantasy relevant if you don't care about batting average. 2 home runs. Tampa, 5 home runs. They hammered Baltimore 13-6 because Eddie Heckman was not at the game. Zunino 2 for 5. He's a boom or bust. 4 for 17. All 4 homers, 6 RBIs in the last 5 games. Brett Phillips, Austin Meadows also hit 3-run homers. Meadows 2 for 5. This guy's a player, man. See if you can steal him somehow before he gets hot. Okay? He's now 9 for 25. He may be hot already in his last 6 games. Austin Meadows. I told you a couple of days ago to pick him up. If you didn't do it, you may not be able to now. Choi went 1 for 4 with a 2-run homer and a walk. He returned from the injured list. He chopped Choi 4 for 8 with a home run in his first 2 games back. And Tampa has averaged almost 9 runs during their winning streak. But in their previous 19 games, they averaged 3.2 runs. So, it's all about streaks, man. And when you're hot, you're hot. And part of the success of DFS players is knowing the streaks and who's hot and who's not. And come on, man. Louis Patino, 4 runs, 6 hits, 2 walks. Okay? He had an 8-0 lead, but forget it. He was unable to finish the 4th inning. Baltimore has now lost 8 out of 10. They are 6-16 at home. Come on, Eddie Heckman. What do you do when you go to the games? Eat hot dogs? Come on, man. Get with the program. You can't be at the game and then tell me that your team has the worst home record. And Matt Harvey tagged, took the loss. Tagged. 6 runs, 7 hits in an inning and 2/3. Shortest outing in a long time. Okay, Willie Adames hit a double. It hit off the third base bag, or Rosarina reached on an infield single. So, look, that's what Cedric Mullins hitting streak is at 11 games. Kevin Kiermaier could be back soon. All right, he could be eligible to be activated in the next day or 2. Michael Wacha will throw a simulated game, and that's of importance, okay? Up next, Ryan Yarbrough draws the start. He's 3-1 with a 3.24, probably as an opener, against Mr. John Means, who has pitched 15 scoreless innings with 15 strikeouts, no walks in his last 2 starts. Hyun-Shin Ryu had a good game. 7 wonderful innings, okay? 4 hits, struck out 7. It was vintage Hyun-Shin Ryu. Haven't seen the vintage Hyun-Shin Ryu this year. coming off a win in Atlanta last Wednesday. Eduardo Rodriguez gave up 5 runs, 11 hits. Rodriguez has gone 5 or more innings in 36 straight starts. Eduardo Rodriguez has gone 5 innings or more, and that is pretty special. Okay? Eduardo Rodriguez. I know Andy has him, but 5 or more innings in 36 straight starts going back to early May 2019. Semien and Bichette had run-scoring hits. We don't have time for the box scores. Maybe on a day that there are fewer games. Lourdes Gurriel hit a leadoff double. He contributed an RBI. You know, we had a caller talking about Gurriel. Come on, man. He's going to be a good hitter. Teoscar, I was wrong about Turnbull, but I like Gurriel. Teoscar Hernandez had 3 hits. Hernandez has driven in 17 runs in 17 games. 17 runs in 17 games since he came back from his COVID stuff. Unbelievable. Randall Grichuk, 2-run homer. Okay? He had a little homerless streak there. Kiki Hernandez returned from the injured list. Chris Sale, remember him? He's really excited about his workouts. Holy mackerel. Chris Sale's excited about his workouts. Unbelievable. John Garofalo, what are you excited about? All right? Big Al the Prowl is here. John is gone. I want to know what he's excited about. Zelmo, what are you excited about? I know what Andrew's excited about, but I can't tell you. Okay? I can't tell you. Killing me softly, this song, killing him softly. Come on. Yeah, Eduardo, minus 4 points. Springer is taking batting practice, but he's not started running. You don't need that, okay? Rowdy Tellez hurt his hamstring. What is going on? You know, this has been the worst fantasy season in the history. Garrett Richards, Ross Stripling, scheduled to start. Miguel Sano was in a deep slump, and what happened? That's right, you heard it first. 3 home runs and a broken jaw. Jorge Polanco hit a game-ending RBI single. Mercedes was the center of attention, not going into it. Sano hit a 2-run homer off of Aaron Bummer. So the Twins had dropped 2 in a row. They lost 16-4 on Monday to the White Sox. Jake Lamb, Yasmani Grandal homered for the White Sox. Look, Grandal has now 5 home runs and hit 132. Lamb went 1 for 3. And Lynn did not factor into the decision, Lance Lynn. All the damage came off of Miguel Sano, a pair of solo home runs. Otherwise, he held Minnesota in check. Another solid outing. He left the game poised for the win. So we'll see. Lynn has allowed only 2 earned runs in his last 3 starts. So, pretty good player. Taylor Rogers earned the win Tuesday. A scoreless inning, 1 hit. Rogers entered the tie game, so Taylor Rogers did pretty good. And Hendricks came in a non-save situation, but Sano was hitting 111, 2 homers, and 45 at-bats, and then he went on the injured list. He's now hitting 243. 4 home runs in 10 games since then. 3 for 4. What a game. Jose Abreu missed the 2nd straight game with ankle inflammation. Max Kepler returned to the lineup. Mitch Garver was still sore, has a contusion, but he can still play. Disappointing Luis Giolito with an ERA close to 5 goes against Matt Schumacher with an ERA over 6. So Turnbull did it, man. 28-year-old, tossed the 5th no-hitter of the year. He led baseball in losses in 2019, had a 3-17 record. First pitcher, not named Verlander, to throw a no-hitter for Detroit. Who was the pitcher before that? Okay? In 1984, who was the pitcher to throw a no-hitter for Detroit? Anybody want to take a shot at that one? So Turnbull adds his name to the no-hit list. Seems like everybody can throw a no-hitter now. All right, Major League record for no-hitters is 7 since the year 2000. Great defensive play by Candelario, and that was it. Jake Fraley with a hamstring was on the field. Marco Gonzalez could start facing some hitters, not ready to pitch. Tarek Skubal 0-6 with an ERA close to 6, looks for his first win. And Logan Gilbert makes his second Major League start. Okay, Logan Gilbert. Bummer was a bummer last night. Happy hour tonight at 7. Is tonight Wednesday? Forgot about that, yeah. And look who's here. Ladies and gentlemen, you can now, the doors have been open. For those of you waiting outside, Greg has just made his appearance into the chat room, so come on in, everybody. There you go. And now everybody's joining us. There you go. Good morning, Greg. In a game that featured 5 home runs, Ohtani, Josh Naylor, I tell you, Naylor hit a tie-breaking drive in the 8th. Naylor is a good player. Ohtani, now is it time, if your team is floundering, would you consider trading Ohtani? That's a big question. Justin Upton and Jose Iglesias went deep. Ramirez also homered. Plesac pitched 7 innings, allowed 5 hits. James Karinchak got his 4th save. You'll see more and more that Karinchak is getting saves. Okay? Ohtani and Rendon opened up with singles. Upton was 0 for 15 till he got that hit. Haney 10 runs in 8 1/3 in his last 2 starts. 9 of them were earned. So Jimenez, Option, and Ramon Rosario is ready to fly. Ohtani's going to make his 6th start of the year. Wednesday. First pitcher in the modern era to record 40 strikeouts and allow 11 or fewer hits in his first 5 starts. Goes against Aaron Savali. Whit Merrifield, as we go to Milwaukee and Kansas City. Merrifield, I saw he slid under the tag to give the Royals the lead in the 8th inning. It was a bang-bang call, okay, and we'll see what happens. But so Chris Pubic had been working relief. He got the start when Danny Duffy went to the injured list. Threw 6 innings of 1-hit ball. It's not bad for a Pubic, all right? He came within a hair of winning the game, so I'll call that a pubic hair. He did a good job. The Brewers starter allowed just 2 hits before walking Merrifield, then hitting Carlos Santana. Devin Williams came in to face Benintendi, who singled, and that gave Merrifield time to score. So it was a good night. It was a good night, good game. All right, good game. Abisail Garcia argued balls and strikes. He got tossed. Okay, Woodruff only hiccup came in the 8th inning when he gave up a couple of 2-out singles. Woodruff cruised. Very crude. The Kansas City hitters were very impatient, and they were baffled by the fastball and the sinker. Woodruff made 10 starts last year, struck out 4, walked 2. Okay, there was a big breeze blowing out. And guess who played? Christian Yelich played for the 2nd time in 5 weeks. Okay? He was the DH. So Duffy on the injured list. Yelich comes off. Derek Fisher returned from his rehab, but he still has a left hamstring problem. Kyle Zimmer, remember him? He was activated after 2 rehab starts. Alberto Mondesi with his oblique moved from Double-A to Omaha. He continues to rehab, and Corbin Burns returns to the mound against Garrett Cole. And finally, the Astros and the A's. Ramon Laureano hit 2 home runs and then a game-ending sacrifice fly. What a game. Chapman hit a tying double. Yosemiro Petit pitched the 9th for his win. And once again, Kyle Tucker homered. Hey, he's doing it. He is doing it. Give him credit. Jordan Alvarez hit a 2-run double. Christian Javier struck out 9 batters in 6 innings. He allowed 3 runs on 5 hits. He worked around 3 solo home runs, but still wound up with a good game. Altuve, 2 for 5. He's now batting in 12 straight games. He's gotten a hit. That's the first string of 12 or more games since he hit 19 back in 2017. Sean Manaea. Wow, just waiting for him to have that breakout season. Allowed 3 runs, 10 hits. The Astros are 17-8 going back to April 22nd, and there you go. And from the trainer's room, Urquidy sidelined with discomfort behind the shoulder. He said he felt good. Elvis Andrus had a second day off. I don't understand what that's about. And Mitch Moreland goes on the 10-day list. They recall Luis Barria, and he could be impressive. Just watch this kid. And there you go. Zach Greinke goes against Frankie Montas. Sincere thanks to everybody who has helped me out, not only today, but over the years. Big Al, Greg, great. I got worried about you, Greggy. Daniel Ferrara, DK Lush, the Doug Boyle, Eddie Heckman, Mal Powell, Matt Hooper, Robert C., Star Dog, Taco, Unoli Toledo, the great Tito Luna, Zelmo, White Sox Gal. And don't forget, tonight at 7 o'clock, you got the happy hour with the happiest guys in town. You got the big hap, and you got the little hap, who happens to be Taco. Thank you, everybody. Love you all. See you again tomorrow.